Hello, everyone. My name is Fitzgerald Stephens, and welcome to Find Ways to Win. Hey, before we really get started with the topic, I'd just like to thank everyone who is supporting this channel, helping me grow in this channel. I want to give a couple of shout outs to some people who was very instrumental in helping the creation of this. The first one would be Denise Stevens, who was talking to me about years ago about getting in front of people, talking to them. She convinced me that I actually had something to say and people would like to listen to, some of the points and comments and discussions that I was handling, especially talking to her. She figured, I could talk to more people besides her. So I really like to thank her for being instrumental in helping inspire this channel, Find Ways to Win. Number two, I would like to certainly thank Michael Anthony Stevens, my baby brother, who also got behind me and literally did some content to get this channel going. That you did something that I didn't do because I was kind of thinking, I'm a little nervous about it, starting it, had the butterflies in the stomach. And so he actually did something and got me initially started. The third person would be Mr. Dinas Amir, the owner of the Search for Uru broadcast on YouTube. The Search for Uru. If you haven't subscribed to that, I encourage you to. Does some phenomenal content on there. It's a personal friend of mine who I watched grow a channel from 0 to over 86,000 subscribers. And then the final one would be a dear friend of mine, James Zigmont, who the owner of Zig Computer Consultant, who actually inspired me, gave me a couple ideas. We were friends in college and still maintain that relationship. So I just want to give some credit where credit is due. I'm a firm believer and advocate. Like my father would often tell me, give people flowers while they can smell them. And so I just like to show appreciation to those 4 individuals who really helped inspire me to that. And thank you guys, at least not most, but thank you for everyone who clicked on, subscribed, and who clicked on the notifications and notified each and every time I go live. Hey, I appreciate it. I don't take your support for granted. Okay, we're having an incredible, awesome day down here in Tampa. Gotta love Central Florida. Sun's down here, and was thinking about going on my bike this morning, but it was like sort of like 60 something degrees. So that was a little bit too cold for me. So I had to wait to warm up about 72, 75 before I get out in the shorts, running around out there. And so I hope everyone's having a great day. I know we're getting ready for the holidays. Tomorrow's Christmas Eve. That's right on us. So friends and family are getting together, and everyone be safe and, but enjoy your family. The title of the day's topic is, okay, you told me your problem. Now let's find a way to win. Okay, you told me your problem. Now let's find a way to win. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to face your problems, you have to talk more about the solution than you do the problem. You have to think more about the solution than you do the problem. You have got to have your mind with one single purpose. I am going to find a way to win. There is a way out of this. I'm going to find it. I can't keep talking about the problem, because what you talk about grows stronger in your mind and your psyche, and then pretty soon that is going to translate into your action or lack of action. So we got to focus on, what are we trying to do? Okay, now, so we're talking about the problem. We know that's easy to explain about the problem. Problem can be tough. Problem can be sometimes insurmountable, and problem can be very difficult. It seems like it's just, I don't know how I'm going to get out of this and stuff like that. And guess what? If you keep saying that, you won't know how you're going to get out of this. I recommend, if you gotta look at a problem, I want you to spend like maybe 10% thinking about the problem. No, that's too much. 3% thinking about the problem, and then I want you to spend about even another 30% thinking, and looking at different solutions. And then I want you to spend the remainder of the time in action. Okay, catch that again. We're going to spend 3%, maybe 3%. Some of you guys, it won't even be worth that. It'll probably be worth a 0.5%. 0.5%. Okay, we deal with the problem. Then we're going to look at spending somewhere close to 15 to 20% actually thinking about various solutions, and then the other remaining time you have got to put that towards action. In other words, physically doing something to resolve the issue, to find a way to win. Now, so many people, they have the first part. We know about the problem. They spend too much time on that. B, let's think about solutions. Okay, sounds good, but they don't never get around to doing anything. They don't never get around to implementing these solutions. And that is the key to winners and losers. Action is the key to the breakthrough. I mean, even now, what would stop one from doing action? Why did I take so long to start a YouTube channel? When I hold a 4-year degree from the University of Alabama in international advertising. When I have been doing sales and marketing darn near for something like 25 years of my career. Dealing with that, my job was to go out there and convince people to purchase a good, a product, or service. So I had confidence in dealing with people. Why did it take me so long to start? Why? Because maybe I didn't know how to maybe I didn't know how to look right. Maybe people wouldn't be impressed about what I would have to say, or maybe I would take the criticism. I didn't really want to hear no. I never wanted to hear no when I was in the sales arena. Still don't. Maybe I wouldn't. Maybe with the Southern accent, people wouldn't quite understand me. All these dumb excuses that was getting me away from the goal of actually starting that YouTube channel. Each and every time I come aboard, I still have to fight the butterfly. Sometimes it takes me about 2 or 3 times getting up and drinking some water and looking outside or looking out the window just to press the live button. But when I go live, it's showtime, as Wanda P. Lofton would say. It's you're on the stage. You want to get some people some value. So we know that problems don't go away magically. Problems do not go away magically. Problems only get resolved by the necessary and surgical actions that are taken to resolve it. Now, I'm a man of prayer, and I believe, and I'm a man of faith, and I believe that God Almighty can easily just absolve something. I've been on the receiving end of that, but most of the time, the resolution that He gave me to resolve it, it was an ideal. It was a certain course of action I have to take. Most of the time, when issues was resolved and solved in my life, I sought out the wisdom of people, either through a book or through counseling with something, and I asked them, hey, what do you need to do? What do I need to do to get over this? And then they would give me specific steps based on their life's experience. And once I implemented, boom, through the course of consistent implementation, the problem was resolved. And that's the only way I know how to do it. I am 56 years old, and that was working when I was 13, when I was 20, and when I was in my 30s, 40s, and now it's still working in my mid 50s. There is no substitute for action. There is no substitute for action. I could make a whole nother stream about that, and then it would still ring to the point. That line right there will still be true 100 years from now. There is no substitute for action. So you have to become a man or a woman that is totally action oriented. Now, I'm not saying go out there and make a whole bunch of excuses and make a whole bunch of decisions that are not profitable. For example, or you're looking to get out of debt, the action is not to go spend more money and use that to try to spend your way out of debt. I don't see that as a proper course of action. Probably the proper course of action would be say, hey, if I am going to invest something, invest based on what I'm doing right now. If I park it in this particular area, or pull it out of this area not bringing me return, and put it in this area that's bringing me more return, yes, that'd be money well spent. If I could curtail my spending, or if I can look at ways like what do I need to eliminate? What can I sell to tackle this problem? What new skill can I already add on to what I'm existing doing to create more income? That is finding ways to win, and that's how you want to think. Also, another thing, if you're gonna play this game, and you're going to play it constantly throughout the remainder of your life until God calls you home, you are going to have to figure out, you know what, and understand that if the problems are already going to keep becoming, or challenges or situations always going to become, let me prepare in it. Let me develop a calm demeanor. Let me be able to think and make great decisions under pressure. You're going to have to learn that. Other words, you can't fall apart when the problem presents you. You can't be an emotional wreck. Even if you're scared, you can't tell yourself you're scared, and you certainly don't want to project that fear out to other people, especially if you're in a point of leadership. And the biggest leader you're going to lead is yourself. So we're going to talk about these things. I'm going to sit around here and look at a couple of these things, and we're going to look at ourselves and see what patterns are we defaulting back into that are exasperating the problem, or that's finding a way to win. Because either way, those are the two things that you're going to have to come up to. Now today we're going to talk about one of the things I like talking about: making money. In particularly money for yourself, in particularly making residual income. Okay, because I believe in a component of leverage. Not only earning my income from what I do, but also earning income for what other people do who are a part of a system or a team that we're developing, that we're building together. Just like your job does. Just like if your job has a president, a CEO, that person is literally getting paid by everyone within that organization. If you're a sales manager or you're a director, everyone up under you, you're getting a percentage of that by way of bonuses or other perks that the people up under you simply don't have access through. And so how can you use that same exact concept and build wealth and build residual income far as for yourself, where just in case something happens to your job, you still have an income coming in. Just in case something happens to your physical health, you still have an income coming in. Just in case something happens to a spouse or a child, you still have an income coming in. If you want to pick up and go to another location, another country, you still have an income coming in. Other words, the job is not the sole factor of your income. And it can't be, because if you are just dependent upon just like one source of income, you are in a very, very precarious situation, because all something has to do is happen either with your control or beyond your control, and all your house of cards is torn down. I know it's happened. It's happened a couple of times to me before I started figuring out something, and before I started getting involved in systems, before I really started sitting down and stopped talking the problem and got to really think, okay, Fitzgerald, what can you do? How can you multiply your time? How can you duplicate your time? The Bible that I read, it often talks more about multiplication than duplication. Multiplication and duplication rather than addition. Now let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, many of us have worked in the addition realm, and many of you are still doing it right now. Okay, I go get a job. Fantastic, great, respect. You need income. I love hard work and people who get out there and do what they need to do. Love it. I was brought up that way on a farm in Alabama. No problem at all. And then those other people, they would employ addition. I'm going to go get a second job. Okay, I'm going to go get a second job, or even some people say, maybe I'm going to make a craft or something. Then I'm going to sell that by way of the internet and stuff like that. And I'm just going to, I'm going to be everything within that business. I'm going to be like a one-man army. Okay, and that sounds good for a while, and that works for a while, until you realize that it's only one of you, and you only have so much time in the day. You only have so much time in the day. Many of you are fathers, mothers. Many of you have other responsibilities that you can only give so much time in a day. Oh, and by the way, you got to sleep sometime. You got to eat sometime. You got to take a little time for your physical and mental health sometime. But if you deal in multiplication where 1 + 1 = 2, +1 = 3. Now you're multiplying. You find one who finds one. Okay, that's 2. Great. Okay, still looks the same as addition, but those 2 go out and find 2. That's 4. They go out and find 2. I'm just using simple numbers here. That's 8. They go out and find 2. That's 16. They go out and find 2. That's 32. They go out and find 2. That's 64. They go out and find 2. That's 128 people. And besides yourself working for your income to grow. Oh, their income is going to grow too. But you have 128 people, helping you build wealth for your household. That is a mind-boggling, the mind-boggling concept. But it's been around ever since the world's been around. In the business world, they call it leverage. In the spiritual world, it's called multiplication, duplication. But you have got to employ that concept, and you have got to look disciplined. You have got to be disciplined enough to see that until the growth comes, until the growth outgrows you. What do I mean by the growth outgrows you? Let's talk about a rocket ship, for example. Okay, the biggest amount of fuel expended with a rocket ship is during the liftoff phase. That's where you have the giant boosters and everything. That's where the majority, if not practically all of the fuel, is going to be expended during the launch phase. Why? Because it takes more energy to get a project lifted off the ground. Okay, and then as the rocket is lifting, you see the giant thrusters, and you see the pad lights up with fire. Then the rocket starts lifting, and it's still, and then you see the flash of flame behind it, because that rocket has to expend that fuel like that, because it must break through the Earth's orbit. It must break through the Earth's orbit. Now, once it gets to a certain level, you start seeing the tanks jettison. These are the extra tanks, and they just fall away. And then you're still pushing. You're not quite where you want to be. But all of a sudden they break through the Earth's orbit, and there's outer space, just black space. Up there in black space, gravity or lack of gravity takes over. It's not pushing against anything. So if they want to move the ship, they just hit the thrusters, and a rocket ship will go left, right, straight, back, up and down, whatever they want. They don't have to expend a fraction of the energy, because they've already broken through the dimension that's holding back. So in lieu of that, understand, if you're going to build any great project, you have to spend most of your energy to get through that orbit phase. You get to that hard phase and stuff like that. And so you look, and then once that happens, then momentum kicks in. We're all familiar with that. We see it on our favorite sports team. We see it on a project we're working. Some people call it being in the zone. I've heard athletes says, like, it's almost like the basketball rim was like as big as a car. I couldn't miss. And we love celebrating that feeling that everything's going right. But they don't talk about oftentimes about the thousands of shots they had to take, about the thousands of shots they did take that didn't go in, about the thousand hours of running, weightlifting, proper nutrition, proper sleep. So what you're trying to do, you're trying to emulate that process. And so, because ultimately, what do you want to do? You want to break through the difficult times, and you want to break through where things that you considered a problem right now, it's not even an issue with you anymore. And we're talking in the realms of finances. So tapping into a system. Well, What type of system? What type of system you looking in to tap into? Well, there are many out there. You know, I like referral based marketing. I like network marketing because you know what? Unlike a traditional business, it's like you can literally own a business within a business, and that you can literally grow as much income as you want. You know, that's one thing I love about the sales arena. You know, and you actually have the ability to write your own paycheck. That appeals to me because you know what? I don't like having necessarily ask someone for a raise all the time. And I certainly don't like, and I certainly don't like not getting paid for what I think of what I think I'm worth. If I want to earn more, I simply go out and talk to more people. I simply go out and become more influential, move more products and services. I love that ability that you get to write your own paycheck and you don't have to ask anyone for a raise. I also love the flexibility that gives you. You know, I'm working from home right now. You know, after I finish this, I have an errand I'm going to run. You know, no big deal. Then I'm going to come back, and my goal is to come back tonight and do another stream, and you know, and make some phone calls and grow my business. Now, we're looking at various trends that's happening in financial markets. You know what? Congress is right now, if you listen to me, in the United States, Congress right now is growing, talking about a stimulus package, not necessarily growing one. Well, $900 million. They talk about practically every man and woman, as well as their dependent, get something like $600. According to the math, you know that. Let's just say that's a little under 200 billion dollars. Okay, so let's say there's like 700 billion going over to other things. $600 for one of the worst financial catastrophes that's not only hit the United States but hit the world. $600. Okay, President Trump, I understand, came on, and rightfully so. Now that's not good enough. We need to be giving people at least $2,000. $2,000. No, I agree. I mean, you're down to needing that money to sustain yourself. Because why are you down that? Well, most people have been under severe economic strain. The houses are being foreclosed on. People are being evicted from their homes. You know, they even had to put from their apartments. They even had to put a moratorium on that. Did you have to stop that? The groceries and utilities still need to be paid. Many people are having to work from home, ladies and gentlemen, because you know what? With COVID, it has put such a crunch and pressures on businesses even staying open. I mean, I'm down here in Tampa. You know, I can ride my bike to a Red Lobster. That closed down. There was a great Italian restaurant that just opened up a couple of months ago. I'm going to bet that guy put a lot of his life savings and opened up this incredible restaurant. You know, right in a plaza next to Publix, which is a major supermarket down here. You know, it absolutely phenomenal. I went there and ate. Food was absolutely high caliber. He's closed down. Can't keep a restaurant open. You don't have customers coming in. You know, and you know you have this moratorium. So what? So the problem? Let's talk about the problem. Not having enough income. Being restricted on your income because you're one of those non-essential businesses. You know, you are hurting. People is not coming to your place. Now, meanwhile, organizations like Home Depot and Lowe's and many of these other huge Titans organizations that are deemed essential, they have a practically record profits. But what good does that do for the average person? What if you're not? What if you haven't been crowned that you're that essential business? What if you're a bartender? What if you have a daycare? You're owner of a daycare. You know, and parents are not bringing their children there. Why? Because sometimes their job has been compromised, so they have to stay there. And then, so how are you going to make a living? It's simple. You have got to switch your ways at how you used to earn money. For example, let me slow down. The money is moved into the online web. You're looking at video conference calls. I mean, for those people who are smart enough to set up some type of online forum, you're going to do pretty good. especially if you grow it and you push it and you're willing to do the work and you're willing to grow that business. Now we're seeing while one end that people are going having all these financial strain, we see another group of people who are kind of entrepreneurs like myself. We're trying to say, hey, how do we find a way to win with this? We still need money. I mean, we still have to have gas for our car. We still have to have food, and we still have to have housing, and we still have to have internet, and we still have to have all these things. The children still need all these goods and services. So that's not going to stop. These guys are not going to heat your home for free, or just give you free groceries and stuff. So how do you still earn income? And but you have, there's so many things that are set down. What I need to do, I need to deal with online. Okay, what's online? Okay, what idea do you have? There's thousands of ideas out there and thousands of things you can do. True, but what is the particular niche that you're good at that you can fill? Okay. Number two, if we're looking to earn money, let's look at money. Like, for example, this $900 billion stimulus package. If you just keep printing money out of thin air, like our U.S. government does by way of the Federal Reserve does, it's going to make the dollars that are already in circulation, it's going to make them make them have less purchasing power. It's called inflation. So therefore, it's going to take more of those dollars to buy the same amounts of goods and services. We already see that. We know for a fact that things are much more expensive than they were 5 years ago, 3 years ago, even 2 years ago. Because why? As more dollars are being put into the market, it's cheaper than the ones that are. But now let's look at a new thing that's coming out. Let's look at the new thing, and that has become the thing: cryptocurrency. Okay, while the dollar probably doesn't have a fraction of its worth compared to what it was back in the 1970s. We're looking at cryptocurrency, the big lions of Bitcoin and Ethereum. One Bitcoin is close to over $23,000. Maybe some fell down a little bit, but you get my idea. $23,000 that a coin that's been out probably less than 10 years, that started off on like as a game token. Nobody knew what Bitcoin would do. Nobody knew what this thing would do. I mean, I heard of a guy who had 10,000 Bitcoins, and it wasn't doing enough for him, and so he sold it for two large pizzas. Out of Bitcoin right now is like he just gave away $100 million or close to that. I hope the pizza was good, but no one could foresee what this thing was doing. Let's talk about the other one, Ethereum. These are all cryptocurrencies. These are new forms of exchanges, new forms of wealth. And you know what? And we're seeing a lot of people, especially like the big businesses and people who are in the know with huge amounts of finances. You know what? They're definitely getting out of cash. They've been getting out of cash. So a lot of them was parking it into gold, and I recommend doing that. I'm a big proponent of saving in gold. I believe in it. Real estate, I'm a big proponent of that too. But they would also do things like buy like 10, 15, $30 million paintings. I didn't understand it back then. I understand it now, because that's also an appreciating asset. But you know what they're doing right now? They are purchasing cryptocurrency. And I say, and Bitcoin and Ethereum is only one or two of them. There are many cryptocurrencies out there, and so they're purchasing these things with the idea of parking their wealth into it, especially Bitcoin. Or people around the world knows about that, and so they have either two things the way they look at Bitcoin. Number one, man, I'm glad I got that, when it was like 5 cents, 15 cents a dollar. Man, that was one of the smartest decisions I ever made in my life. Glad I wish I would have got more. The other people looking like, man, how could I miss that? How can I not see that? I wished I would have got that. Okay. But wishing doesn't make it so. Action does. Okay. Now, what if I could give you a way that you can earn Bitcoin and Ethereum from the comfort of your own home? On your time, just like I'm doing, and many others besides myself are doing. Would you be interested? Getting paid in Bitcoin in real time, working from home from the comfort of your computer. utilizing a home-based business that can operate anywhere in the world that there's internet. Would you be interested? What if you could just generate enough in a week that you could pay your utility bills, make a car payment, make a mortgage payment. Let's don't take a week. What if you could do that in a month? What if you could generate enough money by getting paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum by helping other people, that you could either pay your mortgage, pay your car payment, pay your student loan payment, pay all your utilities, and if you could just free that up? What would that mean to you? That you didn't have to spend that money, but you could earn that money from the comfort of your home, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in real time. Would you be interested? I certainly was. It took me all about maybe 6 seconds to say yes, because I have trained my mind to recognize opportunity. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, none of us are getting any younger. So we have to be able to see opportunity and make our mind up. Remember, okay, you see the problem. What was the problem, Fitzgerald? I need to get more money. Okay, and then once the solution presented itself to me, I thought about it maybe 6-10 seconds, and I'm not exaggerating. Then I took action. I registered my free business account link. My link is right on the stream, that you could click on it. It ends with Fitzgerald Stephens, GS Partners. Okay, I took action. I invested in myself, got a business package, and I went to work. And slowly I'm breaking out that gravitational orbit. And this time next year, or even a few months from now, I'll be sitting in a very, very good financial position. I have trained myself to look for opportunities. This is not the first time I've done this. I've been involved with this business concept of referral-based marketing since the 90s. It works. It works. It's one of the last bastions of free enterprises out there. It works because it's dependent upon me. It's dependent upon me and me empowering others, me and helping other people. But getting paid in Bitcoin, getting paid in Ethereum, are you kidding me? Man, I was all on that, because I was one of those guys when I had a younger cousin. She said, "Hey, Fitzgerald, there's this thing called Bitcoin. You really ought to take a look at it." I'm like, nah, that's okay, T. Erica. I'm cool. That's okay. I was too bullheaded and ignorant, flat out ignorant, to even look at what I was saying no to. I didn't even look at it. Okay, she did just like to you, like she did just like to me, like I'll do to you. Okay, that's cool. At least I told you. She's done very well in that. Meanwhile, me, God, hey, I missed that because I didn't take action. I didn't take action. And how many of your lives could be changed for the better had you just would have took action on that great opportunity that you heard? You only get so more of it. You only get so many of them. So you have to train yourself to recognize. You have to train yourself to recognize opportunities. Or get ready to be poor. The synonym POOR, passing over opportunities repeatedly. Passing over opportunities repeatedly. Poor. You got to go a different way, ladies and gentlemen. You can't build an extraordinary income for you and your family. You can build a residual income for you and your family. You don't have to spend 20, 30 years on a job. We see more people becoming millionaires around the world, not only in this country, every single day. Money's flowing out there. Money doesn't disappear. Wealth doesn't get wiped out. It just transfers. Wealth is like energy. It's not destroyed. It just transfers. It just transfers from one entity to another, or from one group of people to another. The question is, are you gonna position yourself where that wealth will flow to you, or you are going to stay in position where your wealth is constantly flowing to someone else? That's the question you want to ask yourself. So we're going to wrap this up right now. I appreciate you guys listening. Hey, you know what? It's there. I run into a couple people right around here. Okay, first one. Hey, Fitzgerald, when you talked about getting paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum, man, you could have quit talking. So I've already registered on your link. Okay, what do I do next? Okay, No, glad you asked. The next thing the next thing you do is go ahead, register your account. Okay, you're gonna get an email from GS Partners. You click on that to verify that. Send me an email at fitzgeraldstephens@gmail.com, and then more likely we'll exchange numbers, and I can talk to you there and plug you into some training where you can get some different additional information. The second person is going to be, hey Fitzgerald, I like what you're saying, but I have questions. Great. Go ahead, and I also put on there therealmoney.info, and to give you a little information about what we're talking about. And what we're talking about, and if that's for you, great. Just go ahead and register your account. I don't know why it wouldn't be. It's free to join. You get paid in Bitcoin. You work all over, you get from all around the world in real time. So maybe that's not for you. The other person, Fitzgerald, hey, you seem like a nice guy. I respect your hustle, but man, this is not for me. Okay, cool. So let's think about that a little bit. Let me challenge you a little bit. Getting paid in Bitcoin and Ethereum that you can earn for free is not for you? No, I don't like it. Okay, great. Keep doing what you're doing. Much support to you. Respect. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel because, hey, I would love to, as I say other topics like that, I would love for you to be a listener. Go ahead and share it. Hit that notification button. Love to. But if you're one of those, hey, you know what? It's just a few days away from 2021. It's a few days away. If I don't do something different and take action right now, what is to say that 2021 will be the exact same, or if not worse, if I keep doing the same thing? Okay, I want to improve. I got some goals I want to do, and I got some things I want to accomplish, and I need to get this finance stuff out the way. I need to get this money stuff out the way. Because to me, not having proper resources, proper money and income is akin to being in a prison. That's just the way I process it. And many people who I talk to do the same thing. So on that note, I'm going to let you guys go. But please go ahead and hit that subscribe button, hit that share button, hit the bell. But when I come on, you can see those notifications. Definitely appreciate your time. You know what? You can find a way to win. There's always a way to win. There's always a way to win out of any situation. But in going over everything right now, don't spend too much time thinking about the problem. Certainly don't spend too much time thinking about the problem. Okay, hey, I got a problem. Okay, what's the issue? Well, blah, blah, blah. Okay, stop talking about it. Now we know. Next thing, okay, have you thought about some solutions? Yeah, okay. Another thing, okay, let's put our heads together. Let's find a way to win. Let's start, and then the next time we the final and most important step, after we done found this way to win, let's take massive action right the heck now until that problem is resolved and we never have to deal with that issue again. That's how you win. That's the only way you can win. That is the only way you can win. And if you had to pick between the three, take the massive action. If you had to pick between talking about the problem, thinking about the problem, or putting massive action, take the massive action. Because you know what? That's where it's going to be the key to your breakthrough. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate you so much. Once again, thank you for tuning in. My name is Fitzgerald Stephens and Find Ways to Win. And I so much appreciate each and every one of you. Have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. Enjoy your Christmas holiday, all your holidays, and blessings for you and your family.